What's your thoughts on this integration of Warzone and Black Ops 6? Alright, well, personally, the first thing I want to say about integrations is I think that integrations need to stop. But the main reason why Warzone is failing right now is because of Black Ops 6 integrating into Warzone. Now, if they've already done this before in the past and it's worked, and I don't understand why we've changed to this new style of integration. So back in Warzone 1, we had Modern Warfare 19, we had Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and then we also had Vanguard. Now, Warzone stayed the same in terms of engine, in terms of feel, in terms of everything like that. It stayed the same for 3 years, and the only thing they integrated was the weapons. They never changed the engine, they never changed the movement, they never changed the quality of life in a bad way. It just improved and improved and improved. And by the time we got to the last version of the last version of Warzone 1, the Vanguard version, right at the end, it was the best it had ever been for balancing for weapons as well. It was literally perfect. We had such a good version of Warzone 1. The interesting thing is, when they tried to move away from that and do different integrations every year, Warzone 2, failure. Modern Warfare 3, failure. We spent the whole year going backwards trying to fix what we missed. Then we had Black Ops 6 integration. Now keep in mind, all three of these integrations were all different in terms of quality of life, in terms of movement, in terms of the engine. It all felt different, and that is what is ruining Warzone. It needs to go back to having a base game, not changing the overall engine and all this movement every year, because that's what's fucking the game up. Fortnite have stayed pretty much the same game, same base game for the last 7 years. Look where it is now. Can you imagine, chat? Can you imagine if we kept the same Warzone 1 engine for these last 5 years, how good it would be by now? But would you guys agree? I mean, I don't know. You guys might disagree with me. Do you think that Warzone needs to be its own standalone game and they need to stop integrating these things every year? Type a 1 in the chat if you agree, 2 in the chat if you disagree. You know, improvements made every single year instead of just changing it completely, because that's what's ruining the game. What are your thoughts on the stale metas of 2 guns being the meta for ages? Call of Duty will always have metas, and I think that metas are good for Call of Duty because it gets people addicted to the game, believe it or not, having a meta. People start getting really comfortable with that meta, and therefore they like to play a lot more. The selection and choices of weapons that we have in this iteration of Warzone is not as good as we had in Warzone 1. Vanguard SMGs were the best set of SMGs we've ever had from the 6 Call of Duty games we've had integrated into Warzone. The Black Ops 6 guns in general were just super satisfying to use. The Modern Warfare 19 weapons were super satisfying. We had a really wide range of weapons that were just so nice and satisfying to use back in Warzone 1, whereas in this game, they just don't really seem to have any identity, bro, these weapons. I do feel like the Black Ops 6 guns have more of an identity, but Warzone 2, like, we had so many Lachmans, so many Tctekks and all this. They just didn't have any identity, man. So I don't mind there being meta weapons, but we need to have a fun collection of weapons and, you know, a choice of weapons to use, because I just feel like they've lost their identity a little bit these last few years. We've just seen, like, copy and paste of a lot of guns too. If there's anything that you would change with current Warzone, what would it be? So I think the 3 main things that I would change with this game right now, the 3 biggest issues for me, is the shadow ban issues, the cheater issues, and the lack of content. Now, don't get me wrong, there is an insane amount of gameplay and quality of life things that I would like fixed, but if we're gonna, you know, put these collectively, I feel like quality of life is a little bit broad. So I am gonna say content, because like I've said previously, we've been playing Rebirth now for 4 to 5 years straight. It's the same resurgence map. People are getting bored of it. Area 99, I think we could all agree, just isn't the map that we're all looking forward to go and move over to. We've had Urzikstan yet again on a second release of Call of Duty. We had it for Modern Warfare 3. Now we've got it for Black Ops 6. That just for me isn't good enough. If Verdansk wasn't ready at the time, then at least give us our Mazda back. It just seems like we're playing the same stuff. We've had a new game, yet no new content. I haven't seen one LTM yet for Rebirth Island. Christmas is coming up. The map could have been covered in snow. It could have been reskinned. You know, we're not talking about POI changes, but at least give us some snow. Or just, and it goes a long way. I know it sounds very petty of me to say that, but it's like, at the end of the day, when you play a game, you want to have something new and something fun to play. This is the same version of Warzone that we've had now for the last couple of years. I mean, Rebirth Island itself, we have had since Alcatraz back on Black Ops 4. I mean, how long ago was that? 5, 6 years ago? We need, like, a new 72-player resurgence map that's colourful. I think the colours are letting this map down as well. Like I said before, Jay Cucci put that tweet out. I'm sure Zed can find it and put it on the screen somewhere, of the difference between Rebirth Island back in Modern Warfare 19 and the difference between what it looks like in Black Ops 6. The colors are just atrocious. So yeah, content is a big thing for me. I feel like this game lacks a lot of it. Cheaters, I mean, that speaks for itself. Ranked play has been borderline unplayable because of cheaters. And the shadow ban issue clearly isn't working, so we need to stop with this report system as well. They changed Rebirth and Warzone a few times. What happened to that in present day? Exactly. I mean, we had, the last time we had, like, you know, real POI changes was probably when, like, Control Center got changed from construction site, right? Which, bloody hell, how long ago was that? I've not seen living quarters been changed once. Or, you know, anything like that. So yeah, I mean, we need some big POI changes for Rebirth if it's going to stay here a lot longer, because it's just not good enough what we're playing now. What's the one thing that you miss from all the integrations of Warzone that's not in it anymore? Ooh. I have to think about that one a sec. Let me smoke this guy first. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. I'm gonna slam this guy. Ah, he slammed me. So the one thing that I would want back from old Warzones compared to now, honestly, bro, I'd probably say the servers is a big one for me. The servers back on Modern Warfare 19 Warzone and just the old version of Rebirth were just so much smoother than what we play now. I don't know what's happened to the servers, whether they've downgraded or what. I mean, we've clearly got less people playing the game, so I don't understand why the servers would be affected because of that. You know, because of the amount of players that are playing. I think the servers need to be massively upgraded, bro, because the amount of times I've had a death where I'm like, how have I died? How have I not won that gunfight? It's just stupid, man. I mean, we're in nearly 2025 now, and we're playing on. Is it 20? Is it 20 tick rate servers? I mean, it's horrendous, man. Also, as well, I do feel like the selection of weapons, like I was mentioning before in Warzone 1, were just so nice. Each weapon felt like it had its own identity, its own characteristic, whereas in the last few Warzones, the guns have just been plain outright boring to use. We've had multiple weapons that look exactly the same, sound exactly the same, feel exactly the same. I mean, if you go back, you know, you can name so many iconic weapons. The AMAX, the OTS, the Blixen, like all these guns, they just felt and looked completely different. That's what I feel like we miss in this version of Warzone 2. The desync is terrible, yeah. The servers need a massive overhaul, man. They felt a lot better back on Warzone 1. Knockdown, thank you for the 10 months, go. Appreciate that. I think past year we have been overwhelmed with the new Omni movement, and with so many guns, just imagine we have Verdansk and Caldera, and Activision constantly kept updating, like giving us OG Verdansk, OG weapon. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is what Warzone should have been. It should have stayed as the Modern Warfare 19 engine, and by now, 4 years later, it would be unbelievable how good this game would be. In terms of quality of life updates, server updates and stuff like that, content, they could just focus on one version of Warzone instead of having to reintegrate the game every single year. That's what's been the failure of this game. I think if you want to put your finger on one thing as to why Warzone is failing, it's because of these integrations every year. Multiplayer needs to stay its own separate thing. It can't be coming into Warzone. It's just, it's 2 steps forwards and 5 steps backwards, you know? I think Warzone, as of right now, I mean, numbers speak for themselves. I think in terms of content numbers, it goes to show that the lack of interest in the casual audience in watching content. So that in itself can speak volumes as to whether a game is down or not, because if a game is popping, views all across social media are booming. As of right now, views have been the lowest they've ever been for Warzone. Yeah, this was probably the most hyped up game, and I quote Activision when I say this, their most successful launch. If it's their most successful launch, then how can it be so dead already, you know? I don't think that this is going to be the end for Warzone, though. I don't think that this is going to be the complete downfall. I think it will bounce back. I don't think it can get any lower than this. I'm hoping that they have got a lot of plans for when Verdansk drops, because I tell you now, Verdansk is not going to save this game. They need to seriously do something about the cheater scenario. They need to upgrade the servers, do quality of life updates. I do think it got massively overhyped, this game, and I even said this back in Modern Warfare 3. I was in this building when I said it, I remember it. I said to my chat, I think we're going to miss this version of Warzone. I can't see anything. Nice, man. I think we're going to miss this version of Warzone. It was so smooth. I think we got to a point where the movement was actually really nice. And yeah, now we look back at Modern Warfare 3 and we didn't realize how good we had it, you know? What do you think of the idea of Warzone OG, like Fortnite did, bringing back all the old weapons, movement, and Warzone maps? It's an absolutely amazing idea, Kint. It's a brilliant idea. Bringing everything back, all of the old weapons. Whether they can bring back the actual game with the engine and stuff like that might be a different story, but yeah, I mean, why not, right? Let's get some fun into the game. I mean, right now, bro, we've got barely any game modes to play. No LTMs that are fun. I mean, if you look at Fortnite, brother, there is literally thousands of game modes that you can play on that game. And we're just stuck playing Rebirth quads every day on big map. And most people don't like Exoghost. That's it. That's all we've got. You know, we've got a resurgence map we've been playing for the last 4 years, and a big map that nobody likes. That's what's in the game right now. For a new Call of Duty that's just come out and that was massively overhyped, that's what we have to play. It's just not good enough. The content, again, I go back to what I was saying before, the content is just not good enough in this game. We've had a new game that doesn't feel new at all, you know? What quality of life changes are the worst in Warzone? Picking up guns, door closing, mantling, etc. Yeah, so, I mean, doors not being able to shut is a massive thing for me, especially for just like the flow of the game. I mean, if we're talking about realism here, if these guys have literally allowed us to not close doors because they think it's not realistic, I mean, bro, we can literally do like quadruple barrel rolls off top prison, dolphin diving while shooting people. I can run and close a door in real life if I really wanted to. Like, the fact that they've done that, I think, intentionally is crazy to me, because they would have fixed it by now, I think. So yeah, doors definitely need a fix. Picking up weapons. Okay, I'm going to explain something a little bit about this picking up weapons scenario. Now, I'm sure you guys know, if you play this game a lot, what I mean by when you pick up a weapon, it picks it up twice, for example. It's the most annoying thing ever. What really annoys me is, they said in one of their patch notes that they fixed that. In one of the patch notes, it said, fix an issue when picking up a weapon. It would cause you to pick up the weapon next to it as well at the same time. It said it was fixed. It's clearly not fixed. Like, that's what annoys me, how they... It's just outright laziness that they can even say that something's fixed when it's not. So yeah, the overall flow of this game is just ruined by many things, bro. Ledge hanging is horrendous. That thing needed to be left in Warzone too. It's horrible. Not being able to close doors, just picking up weapons. Even just stuff like not being able to pop a UAV because it bugs out. Or when you get a loadout off the floor, your AR bugs on the floor so you can't pick it up. Like, these are just little things that they just shouldn't be in the game. You know, we're now, what, 5 years into Warzone? About to be 5 years into Warzone, and we've still got issues like that. It's just ridiculous, man. For sure. We gotta smoke this guy. I've been yapping, waffling, and playing right now, chat. Heard it. Oh, I'd love to be able to shut these doors whilst running, but I've got to stop and stare at it. We have done extremely well there. Oh. We have done extremely well there. Oh my god. Thoughts on skill-based matchmaking? Okay, here we go. This is a big one. So I think personally, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, if you've got a ranked system in your game, then why should skill-based matchmaking be so strong in your public modes? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, skill-based matchmaking I think should be there. It just should be a lot more relaxed. Alright? Now, I've mentioned this so many times in the past. There is an abundance of casual players that don't like skill-based matchmaking. I'm talking about the ones that work 9 to 5 jobs. Actually, we're going to do a test in the chat right now. Type of 1 in the chat. Wait until I finish the question first. Type of 1 in the chat if you work 9 to 5 jobs. You've been playing Call of Duty for years and years, so you are average at the game. You know, 1.8 KD, maybe a 1.6, maybe a 2. Because you've been there since the very start. But you haven't got that much time to play. You get back home from work and you are just absolutely force-fed into ridiculous skill-based matchmaking lobbies and you can't enjoy the game. Now, I'm talking, these are the people that have like full-time jobs, okay? Type of 1 in the chat if you are affected by that. I want to see something. I'm trying to see something in the chat. If you feel like you can't sit on the game and have some fun after work because the skill-based matchmaking is just ridiculous. There you go. Okay? I'm not talking, like, people think that it's just the streamers that want this shit. It's not, bro. It really isn't. There is so many quote-unquote casual players in this game that are still decent because they've been playing for as long as I have, since COD 4, maybe earlier. They hop on after work and they just get absolutely pounded. And it's just not, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, it shouldn't be the case. Like, it's, you know, you at the end of the day, you play a video game for fun, right? You don't play a video game because you feel like you want to fucking compete for $1 million in a public game. So why, like, GG's by the way, not 26 in a win. So why is it so strong? You know? It just, like, I just don't get it. It shouldn't be this strong. Like, I get it. I think skill-based matchmaking should be in the game. I agree with that. There needs to be some sort of line there, but it is very, very strong. And if we've got a rank system, maybe make the ranked a little bit more fun and give it more of a reason to want to be played, because the rewards for ranked are just, they're not that great, are they? Let's be honest. The rewards aren't that great. So maybe let's reduce the SBMM a little bit just in public matches and make ranked a little bit more engaging, you know, because the rank system, it's not amazing. It could be so much better, you know. Sometimes I get pissed or come back home stressed. Just hop on Warzone to try relax playing game and get more pissed sometimes by servers and shit. Exactly. And it's not just the skill-based matchmaking that you guys get annoyed by. It's the general state of the game. It's so many different things. There's no option in Warzone if you want to chill, unless you go play boot camp. Who the fuck's playing boot camp? No one. So in a perfect world, if you could make the best Warzone and add the best things from each integration, how would that game be? This would be my version of Warzone right here, chat. Okay, so in an ideal world, we never moved away from the Warzone 1 engine, and we do something similar to what Fortnite has done, okay? So since Warzone 1 dropped, we have had, I think, 6 multiplayer games that have had their weapons integrated into Warzone. We've had Modern Warfare 19, Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 6. Now, what would be a really fun and interesting thing for me is if Warzone never moved away from that engine. It's built and built and built and built and built, and we have a point where we have multiple maps on rotation. We get guns vaulted, maybe one season, all the Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 guns are vaulted, and it's Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 19, and Black Ops 6 weapons in the game. Or maybe in Season 2 of this year, we have Modern Warfare 19 weapons, and we have Black Ops 6 weapons, and they're all rebalanced, so they all work in unison with one another. So we get, like, we've got a mixture of all these guns. Or maybe we have sniper rifles from Modern Warfare 19, we have the Black Ops 6 ARs and SMGs, and we have, you know, so it's like, it's all mixed together, and we have some stuff vaulted some seasons, some stuff vaulted another season. So we're still building off this base game, but we're not having all of these crazy things integrated every single year. So by the time we've got around to the 5th year of Warzone now, the game is in such a better state of quality of life because we've never had to go and reintroduce all these things that have been added for multiplayer. We've had multiple maps that have been made. Listen to the community more is one of my biggest things that they need to do. And say now we're going into 2025, year 5 of Warzone, it's like, oh shit, we're still using Cold War weapons now, but they've been changed a little bit so they compete with the meta. You know, this is fun. Every season it's like new guns that we're using. This is what it should be. I think the best way to describe where Warzone has gone is they've done too much. Would you guys agree with that? I think they've gone too they've overthought it too much, bro. They keep thinking that all these integrations every year is going to be so good for the game and it's so new. Maybe sometimes too much change is bad, you know? One of the biggest things that pisses me off, excuse my French, in this game is removing stuff we have already had in the past. That's the most annoying thing. It's like, we have got stuff in this game that doesn't work, that worked 3 years ago in Warzone 1. That is the most annoying thing, I think, out of anything in this game in terms of quality of life, is having stuff not working that has always worked before. It's like, why are we going backwards with the most simplest shit? For example, like UAVs not being able to pop. Why is that not, like, why is that not working properly? Not being able to close doors. Why? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so annoying, man. Revive glitch, bro. There's literally thousands of things I could list off, bro. It's crazy. Miss being able to hear somebody self-res. The most annoying thing ever is when you're in a fucking fight with a team, bro, and you don't hear someone self-res in that fight. That was always a really good audio cue to be like, all right, let me log back in. I'm going to go and hunt that guy down again. But you guys get it anyway. You are the GOAT speaking facts. Have a great Christmas all, which just pop in for me. Hey, Lloydie, have a great Christmas, man. Thanks for jumping in, man. Appreciate you. All right, chat. Enough waffle.